This very retracement is gradually coming to an end on the price of Bitcoin, and if you take a critical look at this very price chart, you discover that this is an important level of resistance, which means market have capacity right now of breaking out of this very level of resistance, and the next move to the upside will be very severe. I'll be discussing this in detail in this very video. And if you come to Pi here, you discover that market is coming back down still in this very area of important support that we've been talking about on this very channel. But right now, market have capability of coming right down and collect liquidity from this very point of important support. That is what you need to pay attention to. So let's discuss this in detail as well in this very video. And on ETH/USDT 1-day chart, it discovered that this is still a very strong rectangular pattern, and this is a bullish rectangle, which means a breakout on the level of resistance right here is very possible. And once that breakout happens, the market is going to move all the way to the upside in this very formation. That is what I am expecting right now on this very chart. I'll be discussing this in detail in this very video and show you the exact target and how the market is going to move on the 4-hour chart. Pay attention, watch this video all the way to the very end. The one important thing here is the Bitcoin price action, because we know that once Bitcoin begins to move gradually to the upside, every other crypto, or 95% of crypto, is going to begin to move upward as well, which is going to bring optimism back to the market, positivity, and all of those stuff is going to come back into the market. Not only that, liquidity is going to flow back into the market as well, because Bitcoin have started moving. And that is why I am not paying attention to this on Bitcoin 1-day chart. So if you look at this very area, market touch this very point right here, market can come back down into this very point of $102,000 and $101,000 within this very point of support, and move all the way to the upside. The most important thing here is that we need to pay attention to a breakout right here on this trend line, because once that breakout occur on this very trend line, which is on the 1-day chart already, market is going to begin to move all the way to the upside. And this trend line is very valid. Why? Because if you look at it, we have the first point here, we have the second point here, and we have the third point at this very point, which validates this very trend line to be true, and it's going to hold, which means if it breaks, that means market come back down a little bit, go upward and break this point with a strong bullish candle. It means that the next ride of the market has already set in, and that is what you need to focus on right now to be in the right direction of the market. Because for me, once I see this very breakout on this very level of important resistance trend line, then market have set the next move into the $115, $120, and $130. This is very important. Pay attention to this on the 1-day chart to be in the right direction of the market. And if you come back to the 4-hour chart, you discover that this very point is still very active, and market have capacity of moving back down, as you're seeing right now, into this very area and grab liquidity from this very point of $103K. This is what I am expecting. And one thing that is very important here as well is because of this very spike we are seeing on price action. This is a rejection candle, and when rejection candle happened, when market was coming back down, it means that the bears are getting tired and the market is going to move up very soon. And that is what you need to pay attention to, because if you look at it, market have been coming back down, and before this very spike right here, which is a volume spike on this very candle, what that means is market have capability of coming back here to grab liquidity before the final move to the upside, and that is what I am now expecting. Of course, market have the possibility of coming into this very area of $102K and $101K. So on the 4-hour chart, market should come back down a little bit before the next move to the upside. That is what I am expecting right now on this very price action. And if you look at the BTCUSDT 1-day chart, look at this very price action. Market move from this very area all the way to the upside, and we see aggressive drop back down, retracement. Market come into this very point of interest that we marked on this very chart. what I am expecting on the 1-day chart by USDT is for the market to come back down right here to grab liquidity from this very area before the next move to the upside. This is very important for you to be in the right direction of the market. This very point of support is where I am expecting market to come into and grab liquidity from this very area. So the possibility of market entering into this very point of 0.53 and 0.52 is there before the next move to the upside, because that was where the market moved into in the past before this very aggressive pump all the way to the upside. So the market also have the possibility of coming back into this very area, grab liquidity before the final move to the upside, and that is what you need to pay attention to right now to be in the right direction of the market on Pi USDT 1-day chart. Looking at the Pi USDT 4-hour chart here, you discover that the market has been coming back down, and from this very point we see a little push to the upside, market come back down, and right here a consolidation means that the market could not break out of this level of important resistance right here, which means there is that capability of market coming all the way to the downside and go below this very point of 0.59, 0.60, and come all the way to the downside to that very area of 0.53, 0.52 before the final move to the upside. And that is what you need to pay attention to right now on the Pi USD 4-hour chart. Market have capability from where the market is right now at this very point of coming all the way to the downside. That is what I am paying attention to. On the 4-hour chart, Pi USD market is going to come back down from where it is right here all the way to the downside. Pay attention to this and be in the right direction of the market. And if you come to ETH USDT 1-day chart, this is very important for all altcoins, because from where the market is right now, this is a very strong rectangular pattern. It is called that market move from here into this very area, and from this very point market is going to move upward if we see that very breakout come on this very price action. And that is what you need to pay attention to as well to be in the right direction of the market. So since this is a bullish rectangle is a bullish continuation pattern. So once this happen on price action, the next thing we want to focus on is a breakout on resistance. So market should break out on this very point of resistance right here. Once that breakout happen, market is going to begin to move all the way to the upside, which is very important. And if that happen, it's going to send Ethereum above $3,000, and that is what I am expecting right now. So pay attention to a breakout right here on this very price action with a bullish candle, and once that happens, expect the market to ride all the way to the upside to this very point. So if I move this to this very area, it is covered that if this breakout happens, market is going to fly into this very area of 3.4k, 3.5k target. This is what you need to pay attention to right now. If we see this very breakout, this is where the market is going to move into. The 3.4k, 3.5k should be the next target after a breakout right here. This is very important on the price action from now moving forward, and this is what I am personally expecting on the 1-day chart ETH. And on ETH 4-hour chart, market move from this area all the way to this very point, create a new high at this very area of $2,700, and then come all the way to the downside to exact same level, although did not create a new low, which is very important because the last low is at this very point of spike right here, and the market moved from this very point to the upside, but finding difficulty to create a new high at this very point, which means market have capability of coming back down before the next move to the upside. And that is what we need to pay attention to right now on the price of ETH. What I am expecting on the price of ETH right now is for the market to come back down a little bit into this very area before the next move to the upside. And of course, if market break out on this very point of important support right here, the market is going to come within this very area of $2,300 and $2,400 at this very point. So what I am expecting on the immediate short term on ETH is for the market to come back into this very area, and then we should see the next push to the upside and a breakout here. That's when market is going to come into this very area. before the next move to the upside. So pay attention to market coming back down. In any case, market is going to come back down for good retracement before the next move to the upside on ETH. For our chart, this is what you need to pay attention to right now to be in the right direction of the market. For me, it is still best time not to look for short opportunity on your price action. Look at it right here. If you took a short opportunity from this very area and market come back down and the market move up again, you should be panicking on leaving that trade or be in loss already. And the market seems as if it's going to come back down again and you take another short position, market is going to, from here, in my opinion, move all the way to the upside and the possible creation of a new high. What that means is it's not yet time for us to look for short opportunity on price action. Why? Because market is still very, very bullish. In my opinion, before you can look for short opportunity, please pay attention to the market moving all the way to the downside and break out of this very level of important support right at this very point of $2,300 before the next move to the upside. That is only when you can say that the market is going to come all the way to the downside. And this is very, very important, because if market creates a new high right here and then come back down, fail to create a new high and then move again and break this key structure, then it means that market is going to begin to come back all the way to the downside. This is very important. Pay attention to these guys to be in the right direction of the market. On coin market cap, it is called that the global crypto market capitalization has dropped a little bit from $3.44 trillion right here to $3.27 trillion. Market is coming back down because Bitcoin is coming all the way to the downside, and many other crypto, Ethereum, Sol, BNB, all of this coming back down, which means liquidity is flowing out of the market. Once Bitcoin break this very level of important resistance right here, market is going to begin to move all the way to the upside and liquidity is going to flow back into the market, and this global market capitalization is going to definitely increase all the way to the upside. I am expecting the market to grow above $5 trillion in this very bull market, and this is very important. Pay attention to this moving forward. Consider supporting this channel by leaving a like for this video, subscribe if you have not, and turn on the bell notification for more crypto videos like this one. Also check the channel for other crypto content. Join our Telegram channel, link in the description of this very video and also in the pinned comment for more crypto updates. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.